Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know it's been a bit of a long time no see, but I'm just glad to be checking in with you guys. Today is November 2nd, 2020. Just so you guys want to timestamp whenever this pops up on your feed. But I'll get right into what's really the pertinent and pressing issue today is obviously tomorrow's election day. Just for the record, I want to tell everybody that I've never voted ever in my life. Never cast a ballot. Never went to a polling booth and put my vote down for any candidate or for any measure on a particular ballot. I've never done it in all my adult voting legal age years. Which is ironic because once I actually did volunteer work at a polling center where I was actually collecting people's votes and, setting them and organizing and counting them. It was a long time ago. It was actually during a presidential voting year, but, I didn't vote. Didn't vote before that and haven't voted since then. Just never did it. And I know it's, and I have to say this as a minority. A lot of people from my ancestry and related to my ancestry have died for the right to have the ability to vote. And even when they had the ability to vote, there was a lot of laws and works in place that were designed to either flat out keep them from voting or to keep them disinterested in voting. And so, having thought about that, over these years, I just figured it was time to change that. And I did. This 2020, this is the first year that I've ever put my name down to any vote for any particular reason. Obviously, it's a presidential election year, and I did put my vote down for who I wanted to be president. Hopefully, that'll be the case. But there were some other measures on the ballot, some other, people, state, local, that really, that could really have an effect on how things go forward in your community. And I felt, really compelled this time around to, lay that vote down. And so I did. And I don't know why I never did before. Maybe it was just laziness. Maybe I was under the mentality of, oh, my vote won't count. I know there are some people like that. And so I guess that's just part of the circle and the cycle that I fell in. And I just feel like I don't know what I was doing. There's been times where the person that I wanted to vote for, or a certain measure, or a bond issue, whatever was on the ballot that I felt like would have been important to me or people that I care about, would have made a difference had I voted in favor of it or voted not in favor of something that could really be denigrating to something specific to me or to people that I know and care about. So I just felt like, this is the year that I'm going to change that. And so if I know it's November 2nd, I don't know if anybody's going to see this. There's still a day left. You still got all of today, tomorrow until the polls close. If anybody sees this before November 3rd, 2020, your voice counts. Your vote does count. And it took me a long time to come around to that realization. I mean, I guess I was kind of already in that realization, but maybe I was just lazy. Like I said, just felt like, oh, it's just one vote. No, that is the point. It is just one vote. It's your vote. Whoever you want to see voted for in favor of, that is your call to make. And obviously, there'll be other people that will most likely think along those same lines as you. You never know how many, but you have the opportunity to be spoken for. And like I said, that goes back to there's so many people in this country that for the longest time did not have the ability to put their name down for a specific candidate or a specific issue that they wanted to see go forward for the benefit of not only themselves, but for other people. So I feel like if there was, and literally there's people that have died for that very cause, which is a cause that anybody who's a citizen of this country should have the right to. It is your inalienable right to vote, and nobody should ever take that away from you. No, you're not forced to vote, but if you really want to feel like you have a voice in this whole situation of life that we're going through, this is a time, where we should really put it forward. And I hope that, like I said, anybody who's watching this takes that to heed. And, maybe this is not the right thing to say, because this has obviously been a real divisive political climate that we've been in. But I'll just be honest and say, may whoever you choose to vote for, whether, for president or local, mayor, representative, senator, whatever, may that person you vote for be the victor. And, if not, that's just how it is. I'm thinking that this is going to be a fair election. I'm the kind of person that, hey, if whatever votes I cast, if none of them go in favor, hey, so be it. I did my diligence and I did my duty. It's a foundation, that it's the foundation that this country is built upon, that we have the chance to elect the things that we want to see in action. They're not stricken down, so let it be written, so let it be done, without our own vote. This is a franchise that we have instilled within ourselves. And it goes back to the term, disenfranchisement. You don't want to have that feeling of not feeling like you matter. So, it's just maybe it is just one vote, but I will say that, this having been the first time I voted ever for anything, as far as political elections go, I voted for all-star games and, school presidents and all that stuff, in my younger days, but, never to the, actual governance of what we do and how it can affect our lives and our livelihood going forward, our livelihood of, if we have children or grandchildren or, our relatives that could, perversely be affected by, something that, we actually have a chance at changing. So, and I feel good about what I did. Like I said, hopefully everything that I voted in favor of, or the things that I voted against, I should say, potentially, I hope those things get saw through, but if not, that's just how it goes. You can never predict the future, but you can help be a part of it. Just being who you are and being the kind of person that has that right and utilizes the ability to exercise that right. So I hope you all get a chance to go out and get that vote in if you haven't done already. And I did it the right way. I filled out my ballot and I dropped it off at the drop box, the officially registered drop box. I didn't mail it in. I didn't, send multiples of votes in. I wasn't going to, do this the wrong way or anything like that. So hopefully that's how everybody voted, whether you did it in person. Obviously, some people don't want to do it in person for, various / obvious reasons in these times that we're living in, and which is understandable. But I went to a Dropbox, put it in, everything was accounted for. So I'm under the firm belief that, at least my portion of this election season is going to go fairly and just. And let's just hope that that's just how it is. And as far as candidates for whatever political parties or whatever levels of governance, mayoral, representative, senator, presidential, however it goes, may the person that you voted for be the victor. I think that's just how it's going to be. So we'll check back in a couple of days, I guess, and we'll see how everything turned out. But hopefully, if anybody's been on the fence about whether their vote matters or not, or you're just haven't got around to doing it, I'll just give you a piece of advice. I implore you to get your vote out there, because I feel better about myself for having done it. Maybe you potentially could have the same effect, or have the same effect, be stowed upon you. So, and which I hope for the best. And we'll just check back in a couple of days. All right. Talk to you guys later. God bless America, for better or worse. Hopefully for the better. And maybe in a couple of days, we'll have a new president.